how to get your next sales promotion. Well, look, most of us, not everybody, like the idea of getting promoted, especially to sales management. Being able to run teams is easily one of the most fun parts of any industry, being responsible for mentoring and training and coaching and things like that. But therein begs the question, how do I get promoted? Well, lucky for you, I have the answers. The first way is, I've got one of my favorite sayings is I got it from my dad, is the world stands aside for the person who knows where they're going. Now, if you set a course, people will generally, as long as you've got the certainty that you want to achieve it, people will get out of their way to help you get there. So the first thing that you want to do is go to your owner or boss, your manager, whoever it may be, and say, hey, what do I need to do to get my next promotion? It can be as simple as that. Sometimes they don't even know that you want to get promoted. So being able to say, hey, I'd like a promotion, what do I need to do? Well, that then sort of almost seals it in a pact of like, well, if you do these things, then you'll get this. Now, you want to try and get numbers. You would definitely, in a perfect world, you want to get some sort of figure. Like if you get X amount of sales totals, or if you do these certain things, the less vague, the better. Because the more vague, the more you're going to feel taken advantage of when they don't deliver. Because remember, a lot of times they actually have to open up a position. So being able to actually set a specific criteria, when you inevitably get there, the onus is on them to deliver on their word. And if they don't, well, you're probably not working for the right person anyway. So the first thing is actually specifically ask for criteria. Then what you have to do is work like hell to achieve that criteria. Now, most salespeople, we're fantastic once we have a meaningful goal. So it actually doubles up because you're probably going to make a ton more in commissions, or you're going to do a lot better anyway because you've got something in sight to really achieve. Now, if it's something that's quite far away, something that's going to take you a year to 2 years, you absolutely must break it down into smaller goals. 3-week to monthly goals are perfect. The human brain really works in cycles of about 3 weeks. Then it sort of starts losing interest for goals. It's a thing called hyperbolic discounting. So the more that you can break it down into monthly or even fortnightly goals, the more on track you're going to stay. And frankly, it's going to be a lot easier. You imagine you've got a ladder to climb. Well, if the rungs are really far apart, it's going to be a little bit more laborious to get up that ladder. Whereas if the rungs on that ladder are quite small, it's much easier to climb up that ladder. So you want to try and break it down as much as you can. So that's the first thing, is simply ask. The second thing that you need to do to get promoted is, well, it's actually the opposite of the first, is you can't be what I call an asshole. So if you're, if they say, hey, I need to see these certain things, or you need to do these things, well, you really need to do those things, especially if it's skills. If you say, hey, what skills do you need to see me develop, or what habits would you like me to do? An asshole is somebody who asks for the advice and doesn't use it. So you need to make sure that you're actually using what you're given, and being an aggressive student, making sure that you're not being what I call a passive student. A passive student is someone who waits to be told what to do and what to learn. An aggressive student is someone that goes out, gets obsessed, and finds it on their own. The next thing that you need to do is, and the final thing is, you have to come with a bit of compassion. A huge part of promotion is team cohesion. And if you're all about you, and if you're only really thinking of yourself, it's not really going to bode well if you inevitably do get promoted. And you're going to have a lot of politics saying, oh no, I don't want them in that role. If you just push everyone out of your way to get to where you want to go, it's going to have a negative impact and a ripple effect that carries across the rest of the team. You want people to want you to get promoted. They want to see you, number one, is outworking everybody else. If you want to get promoted, everyone has to see you doing enough to get promoted. But two, you've got to make people's lives easier. You want to be able to, the whole idea is, especially let's say your manager or your boss, the whole idea of your job is to make their job easier. So if you can run autonomously without being told what to do, it's really going to go a long way. But also with that compassion, not just with work ethic, but with others, helping other people. The number one thing that you can do as a leader is to help other people towards their goals. And the more that you can provide the know-how and the support and even the hand up when someone's down, the more people are going to want you in a position where they can get more of you doing that. So really attacking it with a position of genuine compassion, not just doing it because you want to get promoted, but actually really learning to care more about the people you work with and about the goal that you're working for together, it's really going to make a big difference. So to recap, the first thing you need to do when trying to get promoted, you need to ask for a criteria. The second thing that you need to do is obviously don't be an asshole. You have to do the things that they've asked you to do. Otherwise, it's not worth the discussion. And three, you've got to be the person that people want to see get promoted. Now, there is one last bonus tip that I'll leave you with. Be annoying. I have a saying with my guys, I say, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. For me, we actually use it as a bonus. For instance, if I have an agent that says, hey, if I make 10 sales today, can I get $100? I actually teach them to do that because as a business person, because obviously I want these guys, the guys and girls that work with me to be able to promote. So I encourage my guys to come to me and say, if I do this big task, then can I have this? And not simply expect afterwards. Just be as annoying as you can to get what you want. The world stands aside for the person who knows where they're going. Happy hunting, guys.